Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Where have you happen to find yourself in this weird, wild, wacky world we're in? This is another scene for Unmask Orlando. This evening, we set our scene in the Insomnia BDSM Club, owned by a local elder of Clan Toreador. But we're here this evening to introduce another Toreador. And she is here to meet our primogen, or given the circumstances surrounding the situation, is he even really the primogen anymore?
Well, why wouldn't he be?
Oh, you haven't been updated on the entire situation, have you?
No, I have not.
He will discuss it with you once
Mm-hmm.
in character.
Okay.
But yes, he is waiting in the main lobby of the club.
Okay. So
Stand
Arabella, sorry, go ahead.
He's at the bar with a glass of blood in his hand.
Um, Arabella is arriving via driver. She's probably arriving in a limousine that's dropping her off, and she crawls out from the back seat and she walks into the club, and she kind of walks in very, very cat-like, almost like a jaguar. And she finds herself a place to put her coat.
But
Um,
there is an attendant in the foyer who will take her coat and ensure she is of appropriate age,
she is.
given the themes of the club.
She will. She'll probably present some form of identification, of course. And she will enter the club, and she will scan the room for the person that she's supposed to be meeting here. She's dressed very elegantly, very sharply, very classy. She has heels on. She's got a red dress, I think, that hugs all of her curves in all the right places. And she will, when she sees him, she's going to walk up to him very casually, like she knows who he is, but she's never met him before. And she'll take her spot. She'll sit down next to him at the bar and order the same thing that he's having, with something special in hers, of course. And she'll turn and she'll smile and she'll extend a hand and she will say, uh, I'm Arabella Ramirez, and you are, sir?
Well, Theodius would stand up and take her hand and kiss it gently.
She allows him to. A pleasure.
Theodius, child of Animachia, child of Michael.
Arabella, mm, child of Calibris, child of how do you say his name?
Francois
Francois,
Villon,
Francois Villon, Prince of Paris.
child of Helena.
Uh, child of Helena, and she grins, and she actually gives him a really pleasant, lovely smile. Like her lips kind of pull back to show her teeth.
You'll have to meet Lady Adelaide. She comes from the same bloodline that you do.
Oh, I see. And where is Lady Adelaide?
Oh, she's probably off entertaining a guest. This is her club after all.
Hmm. And what an intriguing club it is.
Hmm. Yes.
Hmm.
We
She's
spend a
actually
great deal of time here.
hmm. she smirks at that, and she's actually gonna take her glass, and she's actually gonna walk around the club a little bit, and she's gonna like touch the equipment and probably like the chains or like any of the
There are,
utensils, so to
yeah,
speak.
part of it is very much public.
Mhm.
There are other parts that are like cut off and private. That's probably where Adelaide is, if you had to guess.
Hmm. And
Here,
she'll
this is another view of the main room. Let me get it up. Oh
she
dear,
probably
bad
she's
pun.
she I think she's gonna take a
Terrible
riding
pun.
uh
Unintended.
she's gonna take a riding crop off of the probably off of the shelf.
There we go. Would you hush? You have chocolate all over your face. Yeah, this is another view of the main part of the room. You can kind of see the bar extending on
Mhm.
from where it was.
Mhm.
You can assume the upstairs are private rooms.
Mhm. Um, so is there like a place that's got things like riding crops or like cat o' nine tails or stuff like that?
Oh yeah, just off to the right,
Mhm.
out of
She's
view, is a little area with toys and whatnot.
she's gonna walk over and she's gonna take a riding crop off of the shelf, and she's gonna kind of bend it a little bit, and she gives Theodotus a bit of a teasing smile.
It is exceptionally well made.
Yes, it
This
is.
all appears to be custom leather
Oh wow. Okay. And
because
she's
each one has the little eye for insomnia
hmm,
worked into the leather.
right. Okay. But yeah, she goes over and she picks up the a riding crop, and she kind of bends it a little bit to test its flexibility. And she does give Theodotus a little bit of a teasing smile before she kind of like holds it off to her side a little bit, and she'll just kind of look around and she'll just be like, I think I'm going to enjoy coming here. And she winks at him.
A great many of us do, my dear. A great many of us do.
And she'll bite her lip,
It's okay. Calm down.
and she's gonna look at him, and she's just gonna say, "Is it safe, or is it well?" Oh, do we have the room to ourselves?
No, there are other people milling about, but none
Okay.
of them seem to be bothered by the fact that he has a glass of blood in his hand.
Hmm. She's kind of gonna like look at one of them and have a questioning look on her face, like ghouls.
Ghouls, other kindred.
Hmm. I see. Well.
Certain nights it is almost exclusively ours. Tonight being one of them.
She gives a bit of a chuckle, and hmm hmm she's she's is she's gonna go play, because that's just a thing she does. She can't help herself. And she's gonna say to Theodotus, and she looks up at him. How tall is he?
He's about 6'2",
Okay. And she'll look up at him, and she just says, "Would you care to join me?"
and he is absolutely exquisitely dressed. A bespoke suit that probably cost him more than most people earn in a year.
Like silk or satin tie.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. I could appreciate this. But yes, she'll look up at him and she will just say, "Would you care to join me?"
It is at that point that fucking overlays. You see this woman walk down the steps,
And
a pair of heels.
bless you.
Sorry. Clicking on the steps as she walks.
And
Theodius,
she
darling. This is our new rose.
she'll turn around to Adelaide with the riding crop still in her hand, and she smiles. Well, yes, I am. And you must be Lady Adelaide, are you not?
Adelaide Dubois,
Oh,
child of Violetta, child of Francois Villon, child of Helena.
I do believe that makes us cousins,
Hmm,
in a
quite
manner of
interesting.
speaking. Yes, I am the child of Calibris, the child of Francois Villon, Prince of Paris, who is the child of Helena.
Hmm. I'll have to let Granddaddy know that you're here.
Oh, I'm sure he would be pleased to hear that.
And her skin is every bit as pale as it is in the overlay.
Hmm. And she's actually gonna, she doesn't want to be rude, but this is kind of just a habit for her. But she's kind of gonna walk around Adelaide a little bit to kind of just size her up. And if Adelaide lets her, she kind of like smells her, like the perfume she's wearing, and kind of just breathes her in a little bit.
She would let her. She
Hmm.
uh she is dressed absolutely impeccably. The dress that she is wearing on the, I believe for you it's the left side of the overlay.
Hmm. Well, I can't see it. It's like in the middle with hair and a rose and an elbow. So, but that's
Oh.
okay. I can kind of tell.
Ah,
Um,
if you flip your phone onto its side, it should give you the whole thing.
I'm gonna try that. Hold on.
I noticed I had to start doing that when I was on my phone.
Oh, hey, it did. Cool.
That way it actually gives you the whole overlay.
Okay, that works. Can you still hear me fine?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And after she breathes her scent in, she's like, absolutely exquisite.
There is the distinct smell of sex and leather.
Hmm. Well,
And following her down the stairs is this man.
hmm. Well, somebody's been busy. And she'll touch her hair and kind of like curl her finger up in it and then let it go. Ah, and is this who you were busy with, my dear?
He would extend a hand. Callum Hardy, Primogen of Clan Ventru.
Ah, a pleasure. My name is Arabella Ramirez. Uh, daughter, I suppose you could say, of Calibris. And I'm not going to go through the whole thing again, but she'll do like
Yeah.
titles, sires, etc.
Mm-hmm. I never actually thought about his heritage. Probably should.
And
He's in
she's
fucking
gonna,
Ventru.
yeah, that's important for them. She's gonna do the same thing too, except this time she's gonna be like looking him up and down, especially his backside. Um, and she'll
It
be
is
like,
quite impressive.
she spends a moment just appreciating it. She'll go, well,
And he's actually dressed rather scantily this evening, as you know, she is a dom, so
Mm-hmm.
the
And
the
she'll
men who tend to spend time with her tend to be submissive.
yeah, she'll look at Adelaide and she'll just say, "Well, my dear, you do have good taste."
Indeed, Callum is quite the catch, if I do say so myself.
And she'll kind of look at his ass again and she'll be like, "Oh, I do believe he is."
Run along, Callum. We've had our fun. Callum would give a little nod and head off to go get changed, as, walking out into public in nothing but a pair of leather short shorts is probably a bad idea.
Probably. It's cold outside. Not that that matters for us, of course, but still. And she'll smile at the pair of them. And she'll put her, she's still holding the riding crop, but she's going to put her hands on her hips. And she's going to look at Theodius again, and she's going to extend the offer.
Adelaide,
Ag-
dear, care to join
Again.
us? She would smile just a little bit. A very intrigued smile.
Hmm.
And she does have the piercing in the center of her lip.
Okay.
Thank you, Clan
And
Tremere, for making that permanent.
and she's
Because they can
gonna,
do that.
yeah. Um, she's gonna look back at between Adelaide and Theodius. Who looks more in charge here?
In this club, Adelaide looks like she is the one in charge.
Okay. All right. I see. Okay. In that case,
Because this is her domain.
okay. Hmm. And she's gonna tease. She's gonna run the riding crop along Theodosius's face, like along his cheek down to his chin and his jaw.
A playful grin kind of comes across his face.
Hmm. Well, shall we?
I think we shall.
Hmm.
And with that, we
Well,
shall fade to black.
yes, we're gonna fade to black, and then we'll come back.
Yes. No need for all of that on screen.
Right. Um,
Ow.
and when we're coming back from that and getting dressed and everything, and um, she's gonna look at Adelaide and Theodius, and she just says, "Well, I do believe we'll have to do this again sometime."
Oh, of course.
And she grins, a rather toothy smile. "Hmm. A pleasure, my dears." And she's actually gonna um go back down to the bar, I think, and pour herself another drink. Um, Kind of waiting to see if anybody else uh, talks to her. But she does excuse herself politely from the room. She's not going to be like, "Sorry, guys, nice time, but I gotta go." She's still going to stay there because you know why.
Yeah.
Um,
This man would walk in. Excuse me,
she
miss. Have you seen Primogen Theodius or Lady Adelaide?
I do believe I do believe they're still getting dressed, and you are.
Clarence. Sheriff of Orlando.
Oh, a pleasure. I do believe that they are still upstairs.
And I'll wait here for him. Urgent business.
Oh, I see. Would you care for a drink?
No, thank you. Quite full.
She smiled. And, how are you this evening?
Suppose disturbed would be the right word.
Disturbed? Oh my.
At that point,
Whatever's the matter?
Theodius comes down the steps. What is it, Clarence? What's going on? You seem restless. We've received some disturbing information. Our Primogen Council has been compromised. Theodius is going to make a manipulation subterfuge roll because he needs to hide the fact that he is rather shocked by this news.
I think
So,
I'd like to do the same.
okay.
What are you gonna set the difficulty at?
Standard diff.
6?
Yep,
Okay, hold on. I'm gonna see. Hopefully the call doesn't drop. Yay,
that
call
is
didn't.
3 successes for Theodius, and I need to pull up Clarence to see through his bullshit.
Okay. Give me 2 seconds to roll. Give me. Yes, I'm doing this from my phone. It's not often I can do it from my phone. So.
Oh, God. Okay, that's not a good dice pool.
I have 8 successes.
Well, damn. Slash R.
I have a really big dice pool for that. So.
I see that. I really need to improve Clarence's dice pool for this. He does not see through it. As far as he knows, you're both fine. Ugh.
She'll simply
move this conversation upstairs. He would take both of them upstairs into the room with Adelaide. What's going on, Clarence?
So all 4 of us?
Yep.
Okay. She's just gonna be sitting in the corner, kind of observing and listening. But she doesn't say anything.
Clan Tremere has been compromised. This includes the prince. The clan is under the sway of a red lister. Theodius kind of takes a moment to digest this information. Great. If our prince is compromised, that means we have no prince. I will be declaring praxis for the city of Orlando.
That definitely gets Arabella's attention.
As I am the oldest among us, with the exception of that Malkavian. and Malkavian is hardly fit to rule a city.
Hmm.
At which point, because none of them have enough obfuscate to see, have enough aspects to see who through her obfuscate. This woman appears in the corner of the room.
Is she close to me or no?
No, she's in the opposite corner. That's quite rude of you, Primogen.
Hmm.
He doesn't even bother hiding his surprise this time. We have already put a plan into works to get rid of the Red Lister and regain control of the Ivory Tower. You declaring Praxis will just complicate matters further. And I should take advice from a lunatic on matters of politics.
Oh boy. Arabella just raises an eyebrow and smiles a little bit.
Because we are in Lady Adelaide's domain, I will not hurt you for that. But call me a lunatic again, and I will make you regret it. And she's
My,
gonna
my.
roll charisma intimidation. And she's real fucking good at it.
Well, she is old as fuck, so I mean.
She is 927 at this point. She is practically Methuselah status.
Arabella's gonna stand up and she's gonna, I think, stand at the probably like, is there a head either side of like the head of the table?
That's
Oh,
6 successes. He kind of shrinks back a little bit, clearly intimidated by this woman who is all of 4'10" tall.
Arabella doesn't say anything.
He will simply nod. Of course, I'm sorry, Lady Lister. Or no, he wouldn't know her by that name. Lady Wright. I do apologize. Good. Oh, you're new, aren't you? I don't recognize you. And she is looking directly at Arabella now.
Hmm. Yeah. Well, not new necessarily, but I've been rather quiet these nights.
Ah,
And you are?
Eve Wright, elder of Clan Malkavian.
Ah, a pleasure, I'm sure. Arabella Ramirez. Titles,
Yep.
sires.
Yeah, she doesn't bring up her sire. At this point, she's basically an honorary celebrity anyway. Hell, right?
Mm.
She even has the third eye. It's just closed right now.
But yeah, she just smiles at Eve and nods, kind of just recognizing her
She would extend a hand.
presence. Her presence.
Oh, and a
Um,
presence it is.
she hesitates for a moment because Malkavian, but she'll, mm, hmm. Instead of, um, shaking her hand, she'll do a cheek kiss with her.
She would smile a little bit at that. It, she doesn't speak with an accent anymore, but there is still like the slightest hint of a French accent.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost a
Arabella,
ghost of one.
okay. Arabella actually has somewhat of a combination between a British and, I suppose, Middle Eastern or Arabic accent, maybe. But it's a very heavy British accent.
Yeah, Evelyn hasn't lived in France in a very long time.
And she just smiles and takes a step back.
Actually, noticing the hint of the Arabic accent, she would Salam alaikum.
Um,
Actually kind of greet her in Arabic.
yeah, she smiles. And she'll respond in kind. Out of character, I have no idea those kinds of customs. Um,
Alaikum salam.
Mulaikum salam.
Don't ask how I know these things. I just do.
Mm, it's okay. But she'll just smile and she turns back to the group.
But yes, Primogen, no need to worry about the red lister. We are taking care of it. We have a plan and it has been put into action. The first steps have already been taken.
She'll actually look at Eve and she'll just say, if there's any assistance I can offer, please let me know.
Of course, we're always willing to accept help.
And she smiles.
You would notice that she actually wears a very old looking wedding band on her finger.
Hmm.
Like it's probably, if there had to be a guess,
Mm-hmm.
it's probably from the Dark Ages.
Okay. Um, but she'll look at Theodius again and just smiles.
So, what is this plan you have in place? Well, we have informed the Primogen Council. I could have kept this quiet if I wanted to, but I didn't. I made you all aware of it. We have one member of Clan Tremere that is unaffected by this red lister. Conrad von Essen. He is the childer of this red lister. And from what he explained, also his twin brother. Odd how things get crossed and strange like that. Oh well.
Hmm. Well,
But yes, there is him that has remained unaffected by the manipulations of his brother. He is using several gifts of the blood, including one of your clan, I do believe. A Tremere with one of our gifts. That's disturbing, to say the least.
Hmm.
Yes, not only does he excel at manipulation of the mind, but also the emotion. I would be more disturbed if he managed to get the gift of Malkov, but it's far more terrifying.
She just she doesn't look directly at Eve when she says that, but she kind of like looks down, like a little bit off to the side in her direction.
We have also been told by Conrad that he possesses the gift of the Sedites. He used it to survive being staked. Arabella would know that that is that is very high level Serpentis. That is
Mm-hmm.
at the very least 5 dots of Serpentis.
She doesn't say anything to that. I don't necessarily know if I need to make a subterfuge manipulation check, but if I do, I will.
Would she normally notice? Like, would she normally let something like that show on her face? Would she have to hide it?
She would absolutely hide it.
Okay, then go ahead and make me a roll. I will make her perception empathy at difficulty 3.
Okay, I'm gonna roll that again. Um, roll 10d10, 10, difficulty 6.
Difficulty 6.
I only have 2 successes that time.
With a difficulty of 3, she only managed 3 successes. Eve will take note of that, but she won't say anything. The others aren't looking for signs of deception with that, so
Mm-hmm.
no one else really gets a roll. Eve is looking around the room and,
She picks up
making
on it.
she'll make a mental note of it, but she's not going to say anything at the moment.
Okay. Um. Again, Arabella's remaining quiet and letting the grown-ups talk.
Yeah, you've got, 4 elders in the room.
Yeah, and if they start fighting, I'm gonna go out and lock the door.
I don't think that'll help with the amount of potence shared between the 4 of them.
No, but it'll give me a head start.
Very true, because Eve has, 3 potence.
Yeah, and I have none. So
Yeah, she speaks a lot of languages.
I only speak 3. Um, but Arabella's she's gonna go back and sit back down in her chair or in her seat, and she's gonna let the big kids talk. But she's gonna take note of everything they're saying.
Eve would go through basically what their plan is. So they intend on attacking the resources of the prince and Katya, so that they are cut off and have to exit the chantry, as none of them have left the chantry in weeks.
Yes, but why haven't they left the trade tree in weeks? Because of the red lister, I imagine. Correct?
Yes, we do imagine that is probably why they aren't leaving. We do know Lady Von Essen has a extensive herd, so
Hmm.
they can probably feed
Well,
off of them for plenty of time before anything has to be done.
hmm. Well, the herd has to leave the chantry at some point, don't they?
Yes, work and whatnot.
Well, there you have it.
Yes, we have cut them off from most everything else already, thanks to a young Bruja,
Hmm.
and of course thanks to Conrad for giving us the list of names that we needed.
Well, as I said, any support or help I can lend, I will.
Of course, any aid is appreciated. After all, we are dealing with a member of the Red List.
Of course. When their existence threatens us all.
Yes, he is an infernalist, a diablerist, and, from what I'm told, an all-around monster.
And what is his name? So I may steer clear
What
of
everyone
the.
seems to know him as is Marcus von Essen,
Hmm. Well, I shall.
though he has been passing himself off until recently as a neonate of Clan Tremere by the name of Mihail Draganov.
Hmm. Well, should I encounter this individual, I will make sure to give him a wide berth.
Yes, he's quite dangerous.
How will I recognize him if I came
Well,
across him?
that's the problem, my dear. He seems to have also acquired a bit of vicissitude.
She raises her eyes, go a little bit wide at that, like, holy shit. Okay, but she's not going to slip into such vulgarities in front of these individuals. My,
Needless to
looking.
say, we are royally fucked. Unless we take him out soon.
Hmm. Well. Hmm. I see.
And it's at that point, Callum actually comes back up the stairs, stumbling and with burns,
Oh boy.
and falls to the floor. He is not dead, but he is very, very close.
Um.
At which point, you see Eve take off a kind of headband that she was wearing,
Mhm.
and she would kneel down next to him and start singing. And as she starts to sing, a third eye opens in the center of her forehead,
Well, that is unique, isn't it?
and you see the wounds begin to heal themselves.
That is very unique. Arabella looks amused at this.
She is just still singing, a glowing energy emanating from her hands as she runs them over Callum.
Actually, Arabella, when Callum comes in with the burns, she actually she'll back up a little bit because that's ugly and she doesn't like ugliness.
The look on
But it's
uh,
more the look she gives.
Theodosius's face is shock, and his eyes widen even further as Eve starts singing and the third eye opens. You're not about caving at all, are you? You're a salubri. She doesn't dignify it with a response just yet until she's sure that Callum is off of death's door before setting him up on one of the beds and moving back over. No, I am not a salubri. I did love one once upon a time, but that was a long time ago. He simply taught me their ways.
This doesn't really affect her in any shape, form, or fashion. She's just she,
He the
she's a little.
thing with Theodius is he was born during the height of Clan Tremere's power. So
Mm-hmm.
he has been spoon-fed the salubri were soul-sucking infernalists lines since forever.
Of course, of course. Hmm. Is he going to be all right?
He will be.
Good.
Healer
What is
Valerian takes a lot out of the user, but it does help.
what is Adelaide's reaction when Callum comes back in?
She is also knelt down next to him, clearly concerned for
Mm-hmm. Okay.
her lover. She is
Mm-hmm.
now sitting on the bed next to him, kind of stroking his hair out of his face.
Um.
And she turns to Theodius. Do not assume that you know anything about Clan Salubri. I was there, unlike you, you child.
Arabella's gonna back out of the way because if somebody throws a punch, she doesn't want to be caught in the crossfire of that.
Theodius just kind of shrinks back. He's still, feeling the effects of the intimidation earlier. We can assume that given the nature of our conversations this evening, this may well have been the Red Lister.
Hmm.
I would
I would
suggest
say
going
so.
nowhere alone,
Hmm.
unless you have a death wish. I'm not always going to be around to heal. Oh, goodness, it's okay. Come here. Oh, my goodness. It's okay.
Hmm. She's just remaining quiet. She's gathering intel, I think.
I'm going to go back to my haven. I would recommend you each do the same.
With Lady Adelaide's permission, I think I might remain here for the day.
Just a second. Boop. Of course. All of our clan are welcome to remain here,
Thank you,
as
my
it is
dear.
probably the safest place in the city right now.
Thank you, my dear.
He wouldn't dare attack my home.
Well, another thing that we probably should be remembering is if we're all together, that makes it easier for him to wipe us all out.
Yes, this is true, but should he come, there are two elders of even greater age than he is in this room. Well, three of us, I suppose. And she looks around and notices that Eve is just gone.
Hmm. Yeah.
Damn obfuscate.
Hmm.
Fine. Two elders of greater age in this room than he is.
Oh, well. I don't know this Red Lister, but I don't doubt your skill.
I wouldn't be too terribly concerned with this red lister. It will be taken care of, be it by simply allowing Clan Tremere to sort out their own business, or by the Red Alistar that is, with no doubt, on their way here.
I'm sure.
And Theodius, darling, if you wish to declare praxis, by all means.
I do believe that if the princes have been compromised and he hides away in the chantry, then he may well have forfeited that position already.
I fully intend to declare praxis. Damn what that soul sucker thinks.
And she'll place if he lets her, she'll place her hand on the small of his back, and she just smiles at him.
He would grin a little bit at that. Besides, she has shown herself to be an infernalist this evening. For all we know, she's on his side.
She may well be. It could be a ploy to confuse and distract us. I would put nothing past the Malkavian on that front.
Yes. For now, you should go sleep. I'll be doing the same very soon.
I do believe I shall. And Lady Adelaide, would you be so kind as to show me the quarters?
She would look to Clarence. Show her where they're at. I'm not leaving. She is still sitting very firmly at Callum's side.
Well, either of these handsome gentlemen, if you'd be so kind as to accompany me, I would
Clarence
very
would
much appreciate.
hold out his arm.
And she'll take it, and she smiles at him.
He would lead her to there's a completely separate section of the building that is kind of off of the club itself,
Mhm.
and it actually goes down under the building into a sort of basement area
Mhm. She's got
as to
she
avoid windows.
of course. She did grab all of her things, her handbag and her coat before departing down here
And there
to
are several bedrooms kind of lining the walls.
Mhm. She will probably take the one that's the nicest.
Yeah, he would take her to one of the bedrooms that is very close to Lady Adelaide's bedroom,
Mhm.
and each of the rooms is decked out in large king-size four-poster bed,
Mhm.
satin sheets,
And she'll
and done in a very similar color scheme to the club, black and red.
Mhm. She'll pick one. Um,
Lady
and
Adelaide keeps these in case any new Toreador to the city need a place to stay while they are getting settled. So, and thanks to Clan Tremere, they are rather safe. And the only one who can undo the rituals is, well, Conrad. So, and he is
mm,
still on our side, it appears.
mm, well, she smiles and
As on our side as a Tremere can be, anyway.
well, yes, annoying, but I would be wary of appearances, for they can sometimes be deceiving.
Lady Eve is quite adept at auspex, so she sees through lies rather well.
And she nods and gives a smile.
I suppose when you've lived that long, you're adept at most everything.
I do believe so, yes. Thank you for escorting me down here. I do appreciate it.
He would nod. My pleasure,
And
ma'am.
of course. And such a pleasure it is.
Wait, he
And
has a pretty distinct southern accent.
she smirks at that a little bit. She likes it. Um, and I think she will retire for the evening or for the day.
And most of the others will retire not long after, with Clarence and Theodius helping move Callum to one of the bedrooms as well.
Hmm. I will actually. She's going to invite. And it's probably really personal, but she's going to extend an invitation to Theodius if he wishes to join her.
He would join her once he's helped take care of Callum and ensure that everyone is
Of course.
safely in their rooms with the wards put in place.
Mm-hmm. She'll actually be on standby to help as well, should they need it. So.
Because there are several other neonates of the clan that have arrived since all of this has occurred, as they were quickly called in by
Mhm.
Theodius because he can't have his clanmates out there with what has just occurred.
Right. How big is the Toreador population? Like, what's the number?
Um, Ancilla, there are probably about 5, including
Mhm.
Clarence. Actually, no, I think he's a young elder.
Okay.
So 5 of them, not including Clarence, and about a dozen or so neonates.
Wow. Okay. All right. Um. But yeah, she'll definitely. Oh, poor baby. But she'll definitely be inviting Theodius to stay with her for the evening or the day, as the case
He
may be.
he he would, uh, he would accept the invitation.
And I guess we can end our scene there.
With that, I believe we can end our scene. Thank you, player, for playing. Thank you, watchers, for watching. This is another scene for Dark. God, fuck, fuck. Unmask Orlando. Damn it. See you next time.